Welcome back to this, already the final segment of The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. And we're going to talk about something that should be near and dear to all of our hearts, which is productivity and whether or not you are enjoying such. And if you're not, we've got the man that can help you do it. Charles Alvarez, he is with CornerstoneBusinessAcademy.com, and he helps businesses of all sizes. But it seems like a lot and a lot more towards mid-market companies is your goal, kind of your target, would you say?
Yeah, I would say somewhere in that $15 to $100 million range.
Yeah, but the great thing about you is that you now have just a wide range of services for companies really of all sizes. So people who aren't ready for your direct consulting and that type of thing, you've got numerous online resources that you can help people navigate through.
Absolutely. I mean, I find that there's so many opportunities, Kevin, where business owners really can't get to that next level. They're just missing a couple of points of knowledge to get there. So we've designed programs that are specific to, you know what, Charles, we don't want you on a full-time basis here coming and doing coaching or consulting or whatever. We just need a little bit of information, so we provide that information as well.
Yeah, of course, you're a great value, but I don't think many companies could afford you full-time.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that.
I mean, we have you as a consultant for our firm. We have you probably more than most people have you, as a consultant. But you're pricey. But of course, you're always returning on the investment. Every dollar we spent, I can quantify and then some return, a lot return. And more importantly, what's exciting is that what you do is you create an infrastructure where you can project in the future how it's going to look. And we're now finally at that point. Early on you said, at some point you're going to start seeing that in the future this is going to happen and that's going to happen. And we're at that point now after, several months of working with you. It doesn't happen overnight. A lot of it has to do with how pliable and how compliant, those are terrible words, but that the client is.
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, 9 out of 10 clients come to us almost inevitably which is we want to increase the number of leads our business is generating and close more business.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. I say, look, what good is more leads and more customers if you can't service them? So,
that's right.
We spend the first, 3 to 6 months talking nothing more than things like productivity and make sure that you have your strategy correct. Because if you have no time, and you don't have the right people in place, you don't have the right strategy in place and the right focus in place, getting the right leads is just going to make those 15-hour days turn into 20-hour days. And you continue on that path for a while, and pretty much your body shuts down, and you get burnt out, and you're wondering, my gosh, yeah, I'm making good money, but I've got nothing to show for it because I spend no time with family, I don't get to do the stuff I enjoy, and all the stuff that I got into business for. I feel like I'm more of a slave to my business versus the freedom that I thought it was going to deliver to me at some point.
Yeah, how big of a problem is it for companies where they are just losing clients as quickly as they gain them? Is that a pretty big problem?
That's a significant issue because,
pretty common among your clients when they first become clients?
Extraordinarily common. So they think their answer is like, well, we'll just get more leads and more customers. Well, there's two. I kind of think of a business as a bathtub, okay? And the faucet is how many leads are coming into your business. Okay, the bathtub is how many of those customers have turned into or how many of those leads have turned into customers. Okay, and the drain are all the things that you do that create turnover at a business. Mm-hmm. There are actually lots of great things you can do to keep your customers. As a matter of fact, we've said this time and time again. The best strategy for getting new customers is to make sure that the ones that you have are getting excellent value from you.
Right. Right, they become walking billboards for you.
Yeah, and
and certainly if you ask them for help, they'll do it. Can you recommend someone who out there could use a service like ours, that type of thing?
Absolutely, and once that customer feels like they're being taken care of, I found that people's human nature is that if you do a good job for somebody, they have a tendency to tell their friends and family. The bad thing is, if you're doing a poor job for them, they tend to tell their friends, family, colleagues, pets, and aunts and uncles at the same time. So you really want to make sure that you keep a fabulous reputation, that you really add value to your clients and customers.
So when it comes to productivity, where do you start looking?
First place I start looking is what you want to become. I mean, there are a lot of companies out there that they have the level of customers that they have almost by accident instead of by choice. So the first thing is, who really do you want to work with? Because, the old 80-20 rule applies to there as well, which is 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your customers. But here's a bad thing, Kevin. Most of the staff that you hire, that most companies hire these days, are to take care of those 80% of customers that are only providing 20% of the value because you're so demanding. So instead, if you focus on the people and the customers that you really enjoy working with and create a strategy to bring more of those in, I've seen clients to where they had 500 customers generating 2 million that now have 100 customers generating 10 million because they focus on the people that they love serving the most. And you know what? Here's what I find about Houston. Houston has about 200,000 companies. There's a company out there for every flavor. It's kind of like 31 flavors. Find which flavor you want to be and then stick to it. Don't try, if you really want to be Rocky Road ice cream, don't try to be vanilla to somebody else.
Yeah, and it's a city that's growing, thousands and thousands, if not tens of thousands of businesses every year.
Yeah, no, I think that in America...
Probably tens of thousands of businesses in Houston every year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the latest study said that 500,000 new businesses are created in America each year, and I think 12% of those are in Texas. So there's plenty of businesses out there.
Yeah, well, I bet it's more than that. I mean, if you just look at, and of course I may be getting liberal with my definition, definition of business, but I think in terms of people who just get DBAs, there's probably 3,000 new DBAs just in Houston. Now, some of them are for pre-existing businesses that are creating sub-organizations just to test the water and that type of thing. But, I mean, it's pretty outrageous.
It is. But that also shows you that you really do have the freedom of choice out there, and you don't need 1,000 customers to be successful, depending on what business you're. I mean, if you're a service contractor or a insurance agent, you might need that. But for most of the business we come across, 100 to maybe 250 good clients, the one that you really enjoy serving, that are willing to pay the freight and see the value of what you do for them, those are your target customers.
So what's the biggest challenge in developing a more productive environment for your clients?
I'd say the number one thing is communication. That is, I would say, by far the number one and above. I mean, we come across clients...
Between them and their them and their clients?
Between them and their employees and between them and their clients and customer base. Because, I think so much of business, especially these days since we live in the information age, it's about educating your customers. It's about educating your staff. And a business should be in a constant state of communicating with their staff, educating their people to elevate everybody within that organization. I can't stand it when business says, well, I don't want to let my employees do that because I'm afraid that they'll demand more money. Look, here's my thing. I look at things from a value and rate of return standpoint. If I'm going to pay somebody $5,000 a month, I expect to get $10,000 a month in value. So if I can find a way to get an employee from $5,000 a month, pay me $10,000 of value per month, to now I'm paying him $8,000 and they're now providing me $16,000 of value, that's a win-win for everybody. And I find that great employees love being in organizations that have a pathway. It doesn't have to be documented, but just how do I grow within my position? How can I increase my skills and how can I become more valuable to the organization? Those employees are worth their weight in gold. And unfortunately, because the business owner wants to put so much control in place, they typically weed those people out and they're left with basically everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. Talking to Charles Alvarez, his company, by the way, is CornerstoneBusinessAcademy.com, CornerstoneBusinessAcademy.com. And you've got some great concepts and ideas, free video that will help you find $10,000 immediately for your business, relatively easy, plus other productivity tools. Charles, thanks for being with us.
Always happy to be with you, Kevin.
CornerstoneBusinessAcademy.com. Make sure you check it out. And by the way, I hope you have a great rest of your day. We want to encourage you to check us out over there, also at usdailyreview.com. While they're like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter. Hope you enjoy your day and hope you spend it right here on this great station.